Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to quickly create API gateways for get, post, patch, delete, and then we are going to see and test in the Postman whether our APIs are working fine or not. Okay, let's quickly create those. Open the AWS Lambda and search for API gateway. Create API. Here we are going to create a REST API. Okay, so this is the last works with the Lambda function. Build new API. Okay, API name, let's give it as API only. Okay, description is optional. API endpoint is regional. Keep everything as it is. Create API. Now it has created the API, but we have cannot configure the routes. That's whether it's a get route, post route, or anything. So what we are going to do is first is create resources. Okay, create resources. In here, select the resource path. First resource name, let's say API. Okay. In here, make sure to enable cross-origin resource sharing. Create resource. Okay. In here, let's create a get method first. Okay. Click on the API here. Create method. Method name is get. It's a lambda function. You can select the lambda proxy integration or leave it as is. Okay. Let's select the lambda proxy integration. US East. You need to select the lambda function. Our current lambda function is AWS lambda CRUD API. Select the lambda function. Leave everything as it is. Select create method. Now we have just created the get method. Okay, let's create the post method. Create method. In the same way, post. So enable it. Select AWS Lambda CRUD API. Create method. Okay, for creating update and patch methods or delete methods, we need to accept an ID, right? ID for that particular object or that entry. So what we are going to do is we are going to create one more resource here. Create resource. The resource name will be, let's ID, because this is a variable. It will change based on the request. So this will be putting in the curly braces. Create resource. In this ID, we are going to create method. That is, first one is, let's say, delete. Enable this. Select your lambda function. Create method. One more method. Patch for updating. Same here. Create method. Now we have created all the required methods. Okay. Now we need to deploy. We have just created the method. We did not deploy it. To deploy it, select on deploy. We need to create a stage. Let's say new stage. The new stage name will be production. We are creating a staging it in the production. Let's say project production environment. Stage name is production and deploy it. These are our APIs routes. Okay. To access this get method, this is the URL. Whenever you call this URL, it will call the get method. The get method, let's go to lambda function. Whenever the HTTP method is get, what it will do is, okay, make sure to deploy your code. If you are not deployed, it will not be effective. So whenever you call the get method, whenever the HTTP method is get, what it will do is it will execute the collection.find and return the documents available. For this, you need to open the Postman for testing this out. Let's copy it. Let's open the Postman. Here, Select get, body none. Okay, let's see. If there are any errors, we'll go back and check again. So, okay, here it is showing internal server error. It is showing some errors here. We'll check what's wrong with this. It is showing bad gateway. What does that mean? We'll come back to it. Okay, let's check for the error. Let's do one thing. Let's test it in the AWS portal only. Okay, this is your AWS Lambda function. Make sure you have deployed this. Okay, click on deploy if you have not deployed this. Next, go to the API gateway, our API. Okay, click on the API. Make sure it is showing in integration request. Lambda proxy integration is true. Okay, for all the things, make sure it is showing like that. Now let's go to get and test it. Click on the test here. Okay, here API get test. There are no query strings or headers for the get. So click on the test. If there are any errors like bad gateway or anything, it will show here. So our API request status 200, that means success. It is the time taken, response body. These are some sample data I have inserted in the database. Okay. Now let's create a post request. In the post request, you need to have a JSON body. That is, let's say in the request body, you can just type like uh, hello Ben. Okay, this is my JSON. This is the request body. Now I want to test it. Okay, this is inserted successfully. So we should go to MongoDB and check whether this entry has been inserted. Hello Ben. But also we can just go to get method and press test because it will fetch already existing data. No, go to the end. Let's see. Let's do one thing. We'll again go back to the postman and check in here. This is the get method. The get method URL we already know. We have tested earlier. Okay. This if you use the get method, click on execute. Okay. Now our entry was hello Ben, right? It should be at the bottom. Okay. This is hello Ben. This is the entry. Okay. Again, I will show you. This is the get method. If you want to insert some values, okay. Let's select here raw format JSON. You can let's say again Ben. Okay. This is our URL. Okay. This is post method. This is our URL. Whenever you hit an URL, it will check for the HTTP method. If it's the post method, it will execute the corresponding function. Let's click on send. Inserted successfully. Our entry was again Ben. So again go to get method. Since we are using the same URL for get and post methods, using the get method with the same URL. Okay. We have a lot of data, 26,000 lines of entry, so it's taking some time. Again, Ben. So we have successfully fetched the data from the MongoDB, inserted the data into MongoDB. Let's take some ID. This is the ID, right? This is the ID of this entry. What we will do is we will use the delete method. Delete method API. This is our query parameter. ID. Let's see. item deleted successfully with the item ID of 580. That is final ben, last entry, right? Again ben. So what we'll do is we'll go to get method again to check whether it's actually removed from the MongoDB. You can also directly go to the MongoDB collection and check. See, our again ben has been removed. We can also, if you want to remove hello ben, we can do the same thing again. So what we have done is we have created get, post, delete, and patch methods. We have written the created the API gate phase for the same, and we have written the Python programs associating each HTTP method to particular function. Okay, this is the end of this tutorial. Thank you.